You know, but the deal with Cosby, you know, I say that out of love. No, but we've been trying to get him to come on the show, and he won't come on the show. He hates me.
Oh.
We'd like to have Cosby on the show. What are you doing to me? I know, I understand. We'd like to have him on. We like him. We like the little pudding pop commercials he does. I'd like to talk to him about the little pudding pop commercial, that frozen sugar water that he sells to the kids.
And you're wondering why he won't come on.
Well, this is, you know, it's just that he used to come on the show years ago. Right. He would come on before his little Cosby show took off. He would come on and be on the show and have a lot of fun, and we'd have a lot of fun with him. Now, he won't even, I wrote him a little letter. Do you think he'd say it? No, he didn't answer the letter. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't like the letter.
Well, I bet that was it. Let's bring out our first guest. Is that what we're doing? All right. Siskel and Ebert. You know, as the Academy Awards approach, our first guests have a new syndicated special entitled If We Pick the Winners, which premieres tomorrow. Please welcome back to the program the lovely, the talented Siskel and Ebert. Nice to see you, man. Thank you very much for being here. You guys are like accountants. This must be your busy time of the year.
It's like Christmas for Santa Claus, I'm telling you, David.
You know...
Predictions.
Exactly.
Predictions.
And we'll get to those a little bit later. I have questions of my own first. Nice to see you. We'd like to have Cosby on the show.
Did you see Ghost Dad?
No.
Did you, there was a film called Leonard Part 6.
I didn't see that one either.
It's a double bill.
That was an interesting film. His daughter told him that she wanted to marry a man who was 40 years older than she was, and his response was to go into the kitchen and pick up a big can of Coke and hold it right next to his head in the close-up.
A little commercial for Bill there, too.
So, yeah.
Let's leave that behind us now. Do you guys know movie stars? I know when you interview them, you probably go to lunch with them and stuff.
I went, we interview them, but we don't know them, really.
Yeah.
Because they are professional performers, so the interview is a performance.
That's right.
But they can be very funny when they get drunk. And maybe...
How do you get them drunk exactly?
I didn't, John Wayne was drunk when I interviewed him once, and I didn't get him drunk. He was drunk when I arrived.
What time of day was this?
This was around midnight. It was down at Gordon McClendon's ranch in Texas, and he was promoting a film called Chisholm. Terrible picture. That's right. Chisholm was the word. I know. I saw the smile. No. I saw it, and they saw it too.
He started it. No. Your buddy here, your pal, your partner started it.
That's the name of the picture, David.
I understand.
It was NC-17 at the time, right?
So the Duke is a little
loaded.
Yeah.
And he says he's playing bumper pool, and he keeps hitting the ball, and it comes right back, and he's getting frustrated. So he said, "Let's get out of here. Let's get something to eat." So we're in Dallas. We go to the Eat All Cafe downtown, 1 a.m. He walks in. The place can't believe it. And this is a greasy spoon, and the waitress before serving us crossed herself.
Oh man, yeah.
He's bombed. He says, "How many eggs would you like, Mr. Wayne?" 1,000. She says, "How do you want them?" Looking at me.
Yeah.
And French fries. He says, "You want any French fries?" I said, "No, thank you, Mr. Wayne." He says, "That's good." He picks up the ketchup. "I would have clubbed you if you tried to take it."
Wow. So it was starting to get ugly then a little bit later.
It was a lot of fun. And then he went and visited a hospital where somebody claimed to have their dying daughter at the hospital. And
Is it 1 in the morning?
This was about 4. He gets back to the Fairmont Hotel, and there's a note for him. "Look, my daughter's dying. She wants to visit you." He goes to the hotel. It was a hoax. They got him to visit.
Wake up that dying daughter.
The life of a star.
See if we can...
A lot better than Chisholm, I'll tell you that.
How long have you guys been working together?
16 years.
How do you, after all these years, how do you decide?
I hate him, Dave.
How do you decide? How do you decide who gets to say the balcony is closed?
It's every other week.
You alternate.
But Gene, always, you notice that whenever I say, and until next week the balcony is closed, he always makes his hand go like this.
You want to know what we actually do?
And then he says, and this, and this, and this. So it looked like he's talking.
No, I do this sometimes. Here, we'll give away some secrets. I go, and blah and blah and blah.
That's right. He does.
You say that as the credits are rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, in case you ever wondered if you could read his
Little
lips
trivia.
through the back of his head.
So, you mean you can't think of more than 28 minutes of things to say? Is that it?
Many weeks
I
later,
only
it's
have
really
opinions, and then
hard
I
to
go
get that
blank.
high.
Let's talk about some films. I have films I've seen. I want to get your feedback on these films. Do you mind if we do this? I saw that Once Around. Is that it? The Once Around thing?
That was
What'd
a good
you think of
picture.
that?
I like Richard Dreyfuss in that film. I thought he took some real chances.
Yeah, I thought it was
with that,
entertaining.
and it was an unpredictable film. I had no idea where it was going.
Yeah. Did you
I
like
thought
it?
that is the best film so far this year. I thought it was terrific. You couldn't figure out where the story was going.
Holly Hunter?
Would you
Hunter-
say it was better than The Doors?
Yes. But The Doors, I would say, is the second best film of the year.
Yeah, now you guys have seen that, and I understand there's a difference of opinion about the
You might say
Jim
that.
Morrison movie. Yeah. You didn't care for it.
I thought it was a fan movie. I think that Oliver Stone basically got fixated on Jim Morrison at a certain point in his own life and has never been able to get beyond that point in terms of making a film about him. So we didn't understand from that movie anything about Jim Morrison that Oliver Stone didn't know when he was 21 years old.
And I completely,
You thought it was great.
I thought it was very good. First of all, Val Kilmer's performance is superb.
It is.
Jeremy Irons will probably win, or it's one of the favorites for winning this year for playing a real person, Klaus von Bülow.
Right.
It's tough to play a real person when there's a lot of video out on them and people know the voice and the
Sure.
sound. But how about if Klaus von Bülow sang, too? I mean, that's... if
Wouldn't
you
that
follow
be a
me,
picture?
Yeah.
that's the point. Be better than Chisholm.
Klaus von Bülow sings. That would be quite a, yeah. Let Spielberg have that one.
Better than Garbo.
Very good.
Let's see. We'll do a commercial and then continue chatting here with our good friend, Siskel. Hi there. Welcome back to the program. Well, what the hell were we talking about? What other films?
I was saying how good The Doors was, and
Oh, that's
Roger
right.
made a cheap
Yeah.
joke.
That's right.
No,
Wish I had.
The picture, you learn about Jim Morrison.
What did you learn other than he
I
was
learned that- I
drunk
learned-
the entire time?
Well,
that
it
the
was a
picture
frightening existence. He led a frightening life, I would think.
He was a very unpleasant man who made life unpleasant for everyone who cared for him, everyone who loved him,
And that's
everyone
not
who
the
backed
and that's
him
not a
up.
worthy subject of a movie?
I would like to know something about him other than that fact.
There's other facts. His father was a commander during the Vietnam War. You learn that in the shower scene backstage when he almost gets
Yeah,
arrested.
well, what shirt size did he wear?
Weak defense.
Have you guys ever gotten? have you guys ever gotten to like a shoving match?
No.
I would probably lose.
Probably would. I thought it was boring, too.
Silence of the Lambs. This thing is just like the runaway blockbuster of the decade,
It's a
right?
good picture. It's a very good picture.
I didn't like it. Didn't
Get
scare
this.
me at all.
Get this, why he
You
didn't
didn't
like
like
it.
it?
He
It did
didn't
not-
like it because the mass murderer was too colorful.
Wait, is that true?
Where do you dream this stuff up?
You
From the
said-
shirt size?
You said on the show that you thought that real life mass murderers were more drab and commonplace.
Oh, I certainly believe that.
Yes,
yeah.
and so the fact that this guy was so interesting, Hannibal Lecter.
I don't say that he was so interesting. I thought that the film was overblown to the point where, with the music, when you go down to the descent into his cave and all that,
I love that. I loved it. It was,
Well, I didn't buy it. And at
the
that
whole room
point, the
was
film
vibrating. It
broke
really
down for
made me feel that I was going to be in the presence of someone who was truly evil.
And I didn't feel that way. And the guy at the end, the other mass murderer, it was like a monster in the house picture where this happens frequently with women characters in movies. It's also with the Julia Roberts and Sleeping with the Enemy. They're smart in the beginning, but then when they have the monster in the house at the end, they get stupid.
Well, I agree with you about the monster in the house in general, but in particular, Gene, this movie was just supposed to be fun, and people could go and they could be scared by it, you know? They're not really going to be doing the FBI forensic test on it.
I think the picture had higher aspirations with that cast and that director.
The balcony is closed, all right?
Blah and blah and blah.
Now, other than this new Jack City, is there any reason to go see this thing?
That's a good
People
film.
are getting killed in line.
There's
to
a
go
good
see it.
reason. Send Ebert.
One or two...
Oh, God!
One or two people have been involved in incidents
Right.
that resulted in death.
Right.
I
One or
imagine that
two?
you could probably find that many people have been killed after almost any movie. If you really look...
Oh, wait a minute. This is better than the shirt size line. Wait to hear this one.
I think it's a genuinely good movie. I thought it was
You
well
thought it was not a
directed,
bad film?
well acted.
And what did you
good
think?
Message.
Is it not a bad film?
What
Or
Roger said, if people couldn't hear, was that that many people would die during any
film, sure, yeah.
Right. 3 Men and a Little Lady, they were killing him in the streets with that one. Oh, I mean, they were picking off, kids in swaddling clothes.
But what?
It's easy to make cheap remarks. I really wish we
set
had
up that well.
we really had the time for me to explain
No,
myself.
but my
because I know
question
what I mean.
was, all a lot of people know about that film is what they read about people getting killed. Is there reason? Does the film have merit in its own
The
right?
movie is a very good film. It's well acted. It's well directed. It has a good message. Wesley Snipes is terrific in it. So is Ice-T, who plays one of the tough cops. I found it to be
seen it. I'll take your word
unusually
for it.
effective.
I didn't care for the picture.
it.
No, I thought it was glamorized in part. Wesley Snipes is good. The drug message, you don't get points for just having the right side of an issue. You have
It
to
wasn't
tell
just
it
the
dramatically.
right side of the issue, Gene. It really made a statement that you could feel viscerally.
Not me.
Let's bring Michael J. Fox back. What do you say? Okay. We didn't even get to the Oscar predictions, but your
they
big
on this year?
The big show is when is your big
Dances
show?
with Wolves, Best Picture.
Okay.
That will win, but it should be Goodfellas.
If we pick the winners, which premieres tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Nice to see you, Roger. Thank you very much for being here. Gene, always a pleasure to have you. Siskel and Ebert, we'll be right back.